On May 12, 2019, an anonymous 4chan user started a thread in the site's paranormal board and posted a picture of a yellow room at an off-center angle. Later on, another user replied to the post with the following caption: "If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has had you." The Backrooms lore is incredibly wide and huge. In the Backrooms lore, there are different backroom levels and each of them are unique in their own ways. Now there are a lot of levels that the Backrooms have, most even going up to thousands. But the only one that I will be surely talking about is the very first one, called Level 0. Level 0 is the most popular backrooms area, which main factors I have already covered at the start of this video. The only way that you can enter the backrooms is by losing control and no-clipping out of real life into non-reality. No-clipping is a term taken from video games where the player is able to phase through any solid object. To no-clip into the backrooms, one must be traveling quickly enough to pass through any solid object like a wall without breaking it. If this is performed successfully, one will have no clip. The backrooms also have weird, unknown entities that are constantly roaming inside the backrooms, but I won't really talk about them. Now, the backrooms are formed around the idea of liminal spaces that games such as Stanley Parable have represented really well. To explain what liminal spaces are is quite actually pretty hard, since doing a simple search online will give you millions of definitions. But the one definition that describes liminal spaces the best is that there are places that just feel off. And that is what I mainly want to talk about. Liminal spaces give this extremely mixed feeling of being lost, completely not knowing who's coming, what's coming, and where you are in general. But they also somehow feel comfortable. They seem to be incredibly familiar to us, when in reality we most likely have never even been to these places or let alone have seen them. And that is exactly the reason why I love liminal spaces this much. I always wanted to know why liminal spaces give this exact mixed type of feeling, but debunking that question is truly quite difficult. The only thing that could somewhat explain this question is that all of these areas we have seen in our lives before had their purpose: to be full of people. But since most of these pictures are taking place at areas where people are meant to be at but aren't, is what's giving us this mixed feeling of just being totally confused. I made a Reddit post in hopes of getting other people's opinions on this, but so far, I've got nothing. Liminal spaces are something that have always existed but haven't exactly had an official term. The word liminal is derived from the Latin word limens, which means threshold. Liminal spaces are transitional or transformative spaces. They are the waiting areas between one point in time and space and the next. The space between what was and what is to come. A great example of a liminal space are places such as empty malls and empty airport lobbies, but most importantly out of all, hallways. All of these places are transitional spaces that we go through, but not our destinations. To try and make things more clear, let's use a rest stop as an example. A rest stop between your place of departure and your destination. These specific areas are not meant for you to stay in for a very long time. In this case, your realities are your place of origin and your destination, while the threshold, or in other words liminal, is the journey. And William Blake explains this a bit better with his quote, which goes like this: "In the universe, there are things that are known and things that are unknown, and in between them, there are doors. And in this case, liminal spaces are the doors." To tell what the exact origin of this very well-known Backrooms picture is truly a difficult thing. This picture has been modified and shared around the internet for over millions of times already, and that made finding that original picture practically impossible. A YouTuber going under the name of David Crypt started off the hunt to find the location of the original Backrooms around a year ago, but as of today, hasn't succeeded. Although the hunt to find the location of the original Backrooms picture is still on, there are some things that were found about these three also popular backroom pictures. This picture was originally found by David Crypt and originally looks like this. This 2009 picture was posted by an office company on their social page, whose name I am not going to mention for several reasons. The trash bin and the light rays from the windows were edited out, the hallway at the end got blocked out, and of course, whoever originally did this tweaked the saturation and color settings in Photoshop. The famous level 188 picture, which consists of this eerie, wide and open space fully covered by windows, is actually real in the real world. This picture was taken inside the London Heathrow Airport Hotel, and it is always open to the public.
The building that I'm heading to in a minute will be all the Holiday Inn rooms.
And the last picture that I wanted to talk about is the creepy abandoned bookstore picture. This picture was taken inside one of the Borders bookstores. Borders was a book and music retailer based in Michigan, United States. The company closed down due to financial issues, which led to bankruptcy in 2011, meaning that this picture was taken somewhat close to that year. The fact of being stuck inside this alternate reality where you're unable to escape and you're completely alone all by yourself is a really scary thing to think about. Although the creepypasta has existed for over 3 years now, who knows how long this picture has been flowing around the internet. The only thing that we know is that this picture has been flowing around the internet since late 2018. But as of today, the origins behind the Backrooms remain a mystery.